Well, I'm about to tell you what, sir. Kotek hasn't done anything useful. The money that's supposed to be going to helping addicts and helping the homeless and helping victims of abuse is going to police officers who abuse us and to mental health workers who abuse us for profit. The American public is paying for this. The American public, when they say to do something about a person out on the streets, they think you're gonna show up as a police officer and help them. Your job as a police officer is only to help people in houses, apparently. We get to see police agencies across the United States having Facebooks. What for? You get to see how the Facebooks are used. You also get to see where the money is used. They're spending an awful lot of time posting up pictures of themselves with kids. It's called grooming, and it's gross. Now I'm going to give you a few examples from history and a few examples from my life. Some examples here in Oregon of Tina Kotek getting people killed. Is it her fault about the ones in World War II? Absolutely not. Alright, that'll go through a tire. We don't want that. I do drive vehicles, so it is to my best interest to pick up shit like that. There's another piece over here. And although it's in a crack, you never know. Go ahead. That'll go through a tire. Keeping Oregon beautiful and all that, right? There it is. That'll go through a tire too. Alright. We're gonna consider that our good deed for the day? No. We're just getting started. I try to do the right thing every day. I'm out here with drug addicts. I'm out here with men, women, Christians, Muslims, brown people, black people, white people, all sorts of different people. I want to tell you about the reality of war. All right, a lot of y'all, your ideas are so violent all the time. Many of the people who said that they would help me, what I needed their help with was turning evidence in safely. Because as a homeless male, ain't no sense talking to a police officer. The number one rule out here is you never talk to the police. The police are not your friends.
Extra lighter you can buy out here?
I have one in my vehicle I could go grab in just a few minutes.
That's cool. I lost mine. I don't know where it went.
Oh man, you're gonna roast in Hades. Lost your pride out here. On the bright side, at least you carry your own burden. I didn't even bring one with me.
Cardboard, whatever. Done it a bunch of times before. I'll probably do it a bunch of times again. Fucking. I'm actually proud of the fact that I don't have so much pride as to just not fucking go get shit done. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I got a guy I know in Chapel, Nebraska. He's in a wheelchair, and the stuff that it takes him 4 hours to do, I can do in could do it in 5 minutes. You know, for him, moving a rock is a matter of rolling it, pushing himself forward, setting the brake, rolling it, unsetting the brake, pushing forward. But he still did it. I actually came over because I wanted to see if I could steal some puppy time.
Nice.
Is that all right?
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit in here and be obvious. I ain't made shit today, really. Really need to fucking get this shit to step up. Hopefully by day 3, people like see me enough that they feel like they want to give some more. And then hopefully by day 3, I might have Hawaiian food truck. He said he's a big name around town. I give him my number. He said he might have some like labor for me at some point. So hopefully I get a call back on that soon.
There's a pizza place all the way by Tillamook Sporting Goods, and I'm not telling you this because you're interested in any way, shape, or form, but they might actually like you there and might pay you to make pizzas.
I could make pizzas. I could do dishes. You know, like I need work, not a job. You know, I'm not trying to live here, but I do need money, and I don't want to just do this the whole fucking time.
And that's the thing about getting trapped in an area by getting a job. You may not know if it's going to be a good area or not once you're trapped in a job.
Yeah. I've quit my fair share of jobs before, but you know, it's like I always like, unless it's a terrible one, I ain't gonna just like give no notice or nothing like that, you know.
I've never been in no call, no
the intake
show
meeting,
like
they're
that.
like, how long do you plan on working here? I was like, I don't know. I can guarantee you maybe 6 months, you know, and then like I'm not gonna pull out before that because I gave them my word for 6 months. I just committed to being somewhere for 6 fucking months. Fuck that. So yeah, no, I need work, not a job.
Yeah, a lot of times, especially if you're not socially normal and you don't have everything established, people expect you're going to get it established in 1 month or less.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, if it's an area where you're eventually getting pushed to the fringes before you get anything started, you don't really have much choice but to move.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened when I was out in Montana just before we came out here.
I was in
Wages
Montana.
were pretty decent, but the cost of living was higher, and it just was fucking impossible. Add on top of that, we're a couple with no rental history, bad credit, and like animals and shit. Like, there's no fucking way in hell somebody wanted to rent to us. It's just like, it sucks, man. It really fucking sucks.
The whole time I was living in Nebraska and the whole time I was homeless in Colorado, I had a job almost the entire time. But most of them were under the table jobs, and whenever I rented a place, it was always, if I could, it was just renting a place from somebody who was too poor to pay their whole rent. And then, of course, you're staying with somebody who might have an addiction problem, and, you know, some people can drink and be fine with it. Some people drink and have to be the center of attention and argue and try to start a fight.
No.
Sometimes you get good roommates.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Yep, been through all that shit. Absolutely.
Well, I've stolen enough of the energy. You're going to need to make some money. So I'm going to get back into the store real quick.
You're good, no worries. Bunch of lichen on that branch. It's interesting.
That was pretty cool. I like some of the... There's a lot of jelly molds up there in Washington State. That's not literally the scientific names, obviously, but it looks like jelly that grows out of a lot of the different trees that are there.
Jelly mold might be close. There's slime mold. That's the technical name for that.
It looks like a glob of jelly. Like somebody took a spoonful of some solid jelly and just plopped it on there. Some of it's orange. I've even seen it in blue, but I was told you don't want to touch the blue stuff because it's poisonous.
Blue, when it comes to fungus, usually means it's penicillin.
Oh, this stuff is like translucent. It's like, it's about the consistency of Jell-O. It's about more accurate.
Yeah.
The same colors as Jell-O, the same translucence. Or quasi-translucence, because obviously it's got a lot of color in it, but it's not at all like a moral or a mushroom by any means.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I wish I had taken some pictures of them last time I was up there, because it's like somebody walks around the forest with different jars of jelly and just flicks it every once in a while somewhere with a different jar.
Interesting. I think I've seen a couple of things that look like that. I haven't spent much time in the forests in Washington. I usually spend most of my time in the plains out there, or being drunk in the Puyallup area, which was terrible. Yeah, that was not a good time.
That's a good place to stay drunk. You might not remember it all.
I don't. I got a car out of it somehow.
Well, at least you got something good.
Yeah. That's the only reason I got out of there. I got that car and just left, and I started sobering up.
You're the only guy who could march through hell and walk out with a crucifix on the other side you didn't start off with.
Yeah, no. The car got me out of there for damn sure. Yeah, that was a rough one. Oh, dude, I was at this fucking trap out in Graham, south of Puyallup for a little while. That was rough, dude. It was like the hillbilly, crazy fucking just like meth and oxy and just like guns. It was nuts out there, man. That was fucking great.
It's like that here too, but luckily you're not into that yet. I don't mean yet as in you're interested in it. I mean like it's whole country now. You were in Portland, so you know about a bit of the stuff there and how.
Oh, I've been around smell a lot of shit before. Like, I grew weed in Cape Junction for years and years, and that area don't even fucking have its own police force, and the sheriffs go home at 6.
Chapel, Nebraska is a county seat, town of 500 people. The only other town in the county is a little over 200 people. It's Big Springs. Cowboy movie places.
Yeah, Big Springs. I've been through Big Springs before. That's gorgeous out there, actually. I like it.
It's flat. I guess Big Springs itself has a lot of trees in it, but yeah, they're all planted by people.
It's. Oh, wait, no, I was thinking of Sulphur Springs. Yeah,
Sulphur Springs, Wyoming, or Sulphur Springs, Montana?
Silver Springs, Wyoming, close to Yellowstone there.
I kept on getting stuck at the Little Bighorn River. That seemed to be a place that I always had to travel in between going and seeing friends and rescuing them from horrible boyfriends or girlfriends. Always got stuck at the Little Bighorn.
I spent much time around that area. West Yellowstone, I've spent some time though. That's a neat little town, honestly. It's like an actual, like, smaller than this, but it's got like a nightlife, you know? And everybody's like, they're excited to be there. It's not one of those towns where everybody's just like, fuck my life, you know what I mean? It's like, I like West Yellowstone every time I went through there. Anyway.
I think about heading that direction. I ever win the lottery. Talk to a lot of different kind of people, learn a lot of different things, listen to a lot of different perspectives. Let's see if they picked it up yet. Nope, still back there. People's foilies from smoking the blues. There's a bunch of people in houses smoking that stuff. I got some footage last night of a lady named Jamie smoking that stuff. Ain't there a place that they can do it other than a park? I mean, you're gonna make it legal, right? But it's still illegal for homeless people. So you got all these drug using houses who are the ones that are providing the drugs to the people on the streets, not that you noticed. And then you blame it all on street people. You blame all the crimes on street people, and of course you violate street people's rights. So let's talk about reality. You know, the fantasy of warfare. You know, World War II, Japanese bombed us. So we're all gonna join up together and we're gonna go get rid of the Japanese. Well, what ends up happening? You and your buddy Steve, you go through boot camp together. You go through A school together. You go through B school together. Right? And it's a whole bunch of slogans and a bunch of stuff about honor and loyalty and such and such. And just on and on and on. And you're friends with this guy Steve, right? Well, you guys are going to conquer the world together. You scream, hoorah! Now here's reality. You're sitting there. You got flies that just won't stay off your face. Just flies upon flies upon flies. There's a chunk of ham about 10 foot in front of you. It's got maggots coming out of it, and it fucking stinks to high heaven. It's been there for 4 or 5 days, just yards in front of you. Stinking. Just stinking. Oh, that's your friend Steve. Still out there. It's all blackened on the surface, sticky and slimy with what comes out of maggots. Black flies all over it, shitting and spitting and stinking. "20 yards worth of people's guts and everything that was in them all strewn about." Oh yeah, and it's not just Steven, is it? No, it's a whole bunch of kids you went to boot camp with. And they're stinking, and their parts are out there stinking. You ain't got nothing left to vomit up. Just dry heaving and pain from dry heaving. Chest hurts, stomach hurts, smelling that stink. The reality is, out here on the streets, we're being murdered. And you guys think that we're being taken someplace where we're going to get help. No, the state hospital is for fucking with people, deciding whether or not somebody can be legally held responsible. That's all they give a shit about. It's temporary holding. All over court shit, usually over somebody who's got PTSD, monetary issues, being abused by people who know they can get away with it because this person's got PTSD and monetary issues. If you pick somebody who's homeless, you know they're on their own. You know nobody's going to go in with them. We all know that alone we're vulnerable. And you guys don't stop to pay attention to the fact that it's us men being harmed. Women are more likely to commit the crimes, and men are more likely to go to jail for them. So the reality out here is there's a lot of people from different walks of life who aren't being heard because they're poor. If they do get any money or any time, it is spent having to walk or to spend all that money on gas so they can run around to resources that you guys are paying to turn us down because we're by ourselves and we're homeless, running us around in circles. When we're victimized, the police, instead of investigating the crimes, they turn us to mental health instead of investigating the crimes. They just simply don't want to. We don't matter. The law doesn't apply to the homeless. The homeless are your go-to. You're not allowed to go after Mexicans or black people anymore. No, but you are allowed to go after the homeless, even a homeless black person. BLM doesn't give a shit about homeless black people.
That's when I looked back, I was like, oh, at least that change on.
I record the reality of life out here
But I'm off the clock, so it doesn't matter.
and how it works.